All right. So I know I talked to a lot of people this past week asking if you guys want to learn how to beat somebody or to even learn how to play somebody. There's only been one character that's been popping up in my DMs lately, and it's this guy, Raiden. He is actually one of my mains. I love using Raiden so much because he has a lot of good solid tools. I wouldn't say he is S tier, but he's got some good tools on him. Now, with that being said, I'm going to teach you not only how to lab with him, but how to use him, what to use, and how to beat him, and how to beat certain things. So, again, if anybody pops into this stream or to this episode and have any questions, please comment down below or put it into the chat, and we will go over it step by step. If there's anything that I'm missing and you do main this character and I miss something, please correct me because I'm not perfect. But let's start off with his abilities. So you have Joe Push, which is 2 slots. Joe Push is a move where he pushes his staff forward, and if you amplify it, he teleports behind the opponent and puts him up into a launcher. Now, when he does launch the character up in the air, they are kind of far away, so pretty much it's very difficult to juggle, to get a combo off of it. So I'm sorry for anybody that likes this move, but for me personally, I believe that this move is useless. So I would stay away from Joe Push. Storm Cell. This is a really good move to have. The variation that I have right now is his basic Tournament 1 variation that is pretty much like the most well-rounded that everyone likes to use. Storm Cell is that he likes to pretty much put an orb around him that causes, an electric shock. And if it's amplified, it can actually keep the opponent in the air, electrifying them, which can also be, carried on for a full combo. Electric Burst. Electric Burst, it replaces Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike is when you go down, forward, triangle, and the lightning comes from the sky, and you can control that lightning from the sky. I don't really like to use Lightning Strike, mainly because I try using it as a zoning tool. I try using it as a pressure tool. It's a very iffy move. So sometimes if you just want to use it, you can use Electric Burst. Electric Burst has really good pushback, and it kind of leaves you plus on block if you do it correctly. Quick Charge. Quick Charge is a really fun move to have. This was one of, I believe in his second or third variation, where he charges up his hands. You do down back 3, he charges up his hands. Now, whatever he blocks, it actually charges up his hands, and you'll obviously see it because it gets brighter. I'll show you guys later, and I'll show you what Quick Charge can actually do if you do the move again while you're charged up, and if you amplify it. Rolling Thunder. Some people say they've been making this work. It is 1 slot, the same as all these other 3, but it replaces Quick Charge, but it's not better than Quick Charge. Rolling Thunder, it just puts a little cloud on the fight line, and it travels very slowly. If you amplify it, it stays on longer, but it pretty much just does unblockable damage. It doesn't stun, but it just takes away some health. I don't see this as necessary, considering the fact that it doesn't really help me as much. But if that's something that sounds like more of your style, then go for it. Super Bolt, it just replaces the electric fly. It replaces Raiden's Superman. If you guys are familiar with the Superman, he just flies to you, tackles you. But this, however, it's just a super punch. That's all it is. It's just a Superman punch. If you amplify it, it grabs the opponent if it hits. You can't amplify it if it's blocked, but it leaves you very, very open. So it's very minus on block. So be careful with that. Spark Port, 2 slots. The most funnest thing in this game with Raiden. If you teleport it once, you do an instant teleport behind the opponent. If you amplify it, you instantly do a teleport behind, flash for a second, and instantly go back to where you were. This is a really awesome mix-up pool, considering the fact that one of his tech throws, which you guys will see in a minute, can be not punishable if you use the Spark Port, the amplified. Lightning Storm, 1 slot. This is very fun. It replaces the Spark Port, but it allows Raiden to hover above the fight line with so many cool moves that I will show you later that it can actually help out against certain characters that you guys will learn in a minute. And for those who see this and die by it, I'll teach you how to punish it. Electric Current, not necessarily something I would personally use, but it is, you know, something you can use with Quick Charge. If you have Quick Charge all the way sparked up, you can, or no, if you just turn on Quick Charge and then use Electric Current, you can amplify it to pop them up. And it's pretty tough, but you can still get a, you know, a good juggle combo off of it. But this is a move where he pretty much puts his staff into the ground or leans forward into the ground, and it shoots an electric current down the fight line. But it is pretty slow. And plus two, you can't do it up close because it leaves you really negative on block. Lightning Rod, completely useless. I'm sorry. This thing is completely useless. Oh, sorry about that. That he puts the lightning rod into the ground, and if he amplifies it, he can he can leave it into the ground. And if he shoots if he shoots his lightning towards it, not only will it hit the opponent, but it will transfer through the pole. I'm just gonna have to show it to you to show you guys how useless that thing is. But first, I'm gonna show you his basic moveset. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Now, a lot of his basic moves are very, very abstract. What I mean by that is that when his moves are used in this order, a lot of them can be seen as, how is this going to help me? Or how is this going to help me? This is a high, but it doesn't really connect. This is also a high, but it doesn't really connect. His forward three, one of the best tools in the game, or I'd say the best kicks in the game, especially for rated. It's 11 frame startup. Now you can actually use this as a mix-up depending on what button you follow with next. So you do have forward 3 and 2, or you could just cancel into any of this, because this is an overhead. The last hit is an overhead. Now, a lot of people like to stagger with this, including myself. It is -6 on block, which is not entirely punishable, still really good, but don't count your chickens. Let me switch over to the dual cam so you know exactly what I'm doing here. So, sorry, the camera's a little too high. Stay up for me, please. Thank you. Sorry, folks. Looks like Professor is gonna have to buy a brand new stand. This is. There, that should be good enough. So, when you have your controller in front of you, again, for anybody that people do not know, 3, 4, 1, and 2. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And directions you guys already know. So, forward 3. And then forward 3, 2. Now, even with this, it is still like -6 on block, but there's a 1 active frame link. But you can also cancel it into anything else like this, or you can actually cancel it into a teleport. Now, this is a really good mix-up tool, but what is better than this one is his back 1-2 string, which is this. This, it's 11 frame startup and it's a mid, same as, you know, his forward 3. Same frames as the forward 3. Don't ignore the -7 because there's no way this is -7, considering the fact that which you can mix up with it. Now, you can follow up with a back 1-2. -8 on block. This is quite punishable, considering the fact that a lot of people can poke out of it. But you can also mix this up if someone is crouch blocking. You can do back 1-4. Now, you are plus on this. Even though this is a flawless gap right here. They can easily flawless block it. But still, if they block it, they are in a block stun. And you're +1 on block. So that means you can be free to poke if they want to try to punish you. You poke out of it. So remember this. You keep going back 1-2, back 1-2 if they're blocking low. Finish it up with that. Now, there is a tech. He does have a tech throw. So, but it only works with back 1-2. So you do back 1-2, 1 + 3. 1 + 3 is these two. So it's square and X if you're on PlayStation. It is a throw, so they cannot block it, but they can duck the tech throw. So for anybody that wants to learn how to lose against that, if he keeps doing this and that's not working, just duck. I know it's really hard to guess this, but once you see like a flash of light, because I realize this, he's not going backwards. His hands are still forward. If you do not see his hands go forward within the next 1 second, let go of block and get ready for the duck. And +2, if they like to do this all the time, if Raiden players like to do this all the time, and they don't have this equipped, you should be fine. Now, as I said before, the lightning bolt, the lightning, this one, it is a mid, and you can control it to the point where they're right here. The startup frames is horrendous. It's 27 frames. Do not chance that, please. Hi, thank you, Empress Sindel. Hello to you too. I would not suggest having this as a go-to move, in my honest opinion. Maybe if you are full screen, you could probably maybe use it to your advantage. If you amplify it, it does an instant mid. It does create pressure. But again, it's not something I would depend on, honestly. So, when you have this tech throw right here, a lot of people can mix it up with the Storm Cell. Storm Cell is down, back, triangle, or 2. This is a move where if somebody is constantly trying to figure out your mix-up game, so like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna tech throw me or what. So I'm just gonna let go of block because he's gonna try to tech throw me. But you can catch it with this. So this is a good move to have in your arsenal, the Storm Cell, because it can be combo off of. Sorry, I just got a PS5 today and it's kind of hard to maneuver this. And I'm not using my hitbox or my fight stick. But you guys see what I'm getting at. So for them to anticipate the tech throw, you can freak him out with this. Now, that isn't always supposed to be depended on, because they can, if you see right here, it says mid, but if you look closely at it, you can actually duck the last part. So if you look at the very end, it says hi. So when you see this come out, when you see his hands come together, right when his hands come together, just duck and let go of block. You let go of block, you can get into his face because I am still -3. Even though I can go back to neutral pretty fast, at least you take your turn back. Because I'm constantly doing this and you're blocking, I can actually catch you with something else. So don't be afraid of this, especially when it's amplified, because that ending is still a high. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is still a high. What else does he have? His basic moves. So the combo attacks are the strings. His best strings right here is honestly the ones I just showed you with the tech throw, the back 1-4. Now I'm going to show you his other moves to the point where you can actually use it to your advantage and actually switching things up a bit. I'm pretty sure you can special cancel into Storm Cell. Yes, of course. So I can cancel my Storm Cell into pretty much anything that I have. Well, except for a few strings. Now, you do have his basic string, which is 1-2-1. It is high, mid, mid. Now, this does have a crushing blow if it punishes. So if someone tries to poke you out or try to put too much pressure on you. Oh, wrong one. This is a really good punish tool, especially of how fast it is. If you get on knockdown or whatnot, and they try to do so, you delay your wake up, they whiff. It's a good tool to use because of the fact of how, usually how quick it is. 7 frames ain't bad, and +2, you can actually meaty the attack. Meaty means like you can, fake out your whiff punish. So you can fake out the 1, but the 2 will hit. Or you can actually just get the last one, because the last hit is 70 and +2 with a crushing blow. You cannot deny that you might need that. His other string is 2-1, which is a high, then a mid, which is a launcher. You cannot combo off of this unless you use, of course, certain type of tools. I cannot do Storm Cell with it unless I'm in the corner. But I can catch with the Superman. So another one I like to use that catches people off guard a lot is I like to do the back 1-2. Now, this is very slow on startup, 16 frames into 19 frames. This is flawless blockable. It really is. There is a flawless block gap in here. But I'm doing the wrong one. Okay, so this is back 3-1. And you can also put more pressure on them if they are blocking. You can do back 3-1 into 2+4, which is triangle and circle. And if you're on Xbox, of course, Y and B. This allows you to keep them guessing. Because even though this is really plus on block and it has a lot of pushback, because like I said, -6 isn't always bad. I'm just gonna say that right now. But considering how far I am pushing him back, I can still do this. I can still take my turn back. So you can also cancel this into a Storm Cell if they want to punish you. Like if they think that like a Liu Kang can do a flying kick, punish with this, or you can duck, whatever you may be. But this right here, if you want to push him more back, if you want to put more distance between yourself and your opponent, you're going to have to do back 3-1 into 2+4. Now, this can be comboed off of because it does launch them. It launches them in the air. I could have sworn I took him off block. Okay. So since that can be comboed off of, another one too that some people think is kind of useless, but for me personally, it actually catches a lot of people off guard, is this forward 1-1-2. It is a high, low, and then a mid. This thing is pretty fun to catch people off with, because this can be used as an anti-air. Now, I can't say that if you're like this far away, it's not going to help you out. And it's pretty hard to get back into neutral after just one hit. But if you practice well enough, you can actually get it. You just gotta practice your timing. So that can actually hit a lot of good opponents off guard, even if they think they're gonna anticipate your mix-up. Because if you're gonna constantly do lows and you back up, they're gonna think he's gonna shoot at me. He's gonna zone me out. But this has a lot of reach. Even if this whiffs, even if the first one whiffs, the link between each one is still 1 frame. It's still active for 1 frame. I mean, this is still active for 5 frames because I believe this is supposed to be used as an anti-air. I think that's the way NRS wanted to design this. But this is a good way to check your opponents. Of course, you know, you can actually combo off. If this isn't flawless blockable, considering the fact that it starts high and then low, but the last hit is flawless blockable. Now for the fun now for the fun-ish. Is your forward 2 and your forward 4. Forward 2, it is a high, I know. And the startup is horrendous. And so is forward 4, and it's a mid. Okay, but it's still 19 frames, Professor. Okay, well, if you let me explain, I'll show you why it's so good. Put him on block. Oh. I am +2 on block. So if I'm over here and they're trying to anticipate my next move, forward 2, down poke, forward 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now I don't suggest doing 1, 2, 1 after that because you know they could just duck the high. Same thing with forward 4. Even though it says -3, this is still really good. People don't realize that, of how good this is. Plus, you can actually cancel any of these moves into teleport. Right after. Sorry, this isn't on my controller, sorry. But you see what I'm getting at. Remember, forward 2 is +2 on block, forward 4 is -3 on block, but it's still pretty good. And if you want to get more pushback, there you go. Another thing too, forward 2 and forward 4 can actually help you catch your opponent after the storm cell. So if you... Hold on 1 second. Something is flashing in my screen. Or... Hold on, class. 1 minute. All right. So, can you guys hear me okay? Because we were having mic issues the last episode and I fixed things up. But Survive Combatant says, how you liking the PS5 controller? It's a little wonky. It feels strange. But, I mean, it doesn't mean I don't like it. It feels strange. But I do like it though. I really do like it. It's pretty big for a PS5 controller. Nice cam. So, with that being said, with Raiden, however, he does have a lot of good tools, including, you know, these two right here. These can help you actually continue on your combo like you guys saw earlier. There you go. So his Superman. This is a mid. You can actually cancel this. So let's say you're putting on pressure. It does cost 1 bar of defensive meter, but you can actually just delay the 3 or hold on to 3 just to charge it up. Is there more damage that comes out of the 3? No, there is not. Hey everybody, nice to have you in here, and thank you Amperflex for putting that quote on. I appreciate that. We've been hearing you good the entire match. All right, thank you, sir. His Superman is very punishable, so please, for anyone wanting to pick up Raiden, do not throw this move out willy-nilly. You guys know better than that. Same thing with the Liu Kang players. We cannot throw this out willy-nilly. This is very punishable. I'm minus 27 on block. Same thing with Liu Kang's fire kick. Same thing with Kung Lao's dive kick. Don't do this willy-nilly. Now, you can't be a maniac and try to anticipate them trying to throw out a good, like, a projectile and you're trying to catch him in time. It does have a crushing blow if you catch him at full screen. Or at a good, yeah, I believe it's full screen. So I had him at full screen. If you amplify it, it has a crushing blow. I don't know why it doesn't pop up. Don't ask me why. It doesn't pop up. His Superman is back forward 3. And remember that crushing blow always hits. Can you get that in a combo? No, it has to be from full screen. Now, there was another move that someone was personally asking me about. Is he was asking if this was useless. It is this move right here. This is 3, 2, 1. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is useless, but I would say this is very problematic, considering the gap between each of these moves. Because you can still mediate and actually like whiff the 3 because this is a high. But the second 2 hits have good range on them. And it's an advancing, you know, it's an advancing move. Now, if I were to set hit Sub-Zero to actually the block, you're +6. So I wouldn't say it's completely useless. Now, his standing 3 is +4, but his second hit is -3. I'm saying that's not always bad, but you need to be ready to either block or low poke. And of course, right here you have the +6. Now, with this staff right here, even though this is active for 5 frames, it is not like this move. This is super punishable. It's -13 on the last hit, and it has a flawless gap. This is just your poking range. This is just to check your opponent on a good safe distance. Because back 1-2 is of course your best advancing, you know, mid to punish. Another move that he has, someone asked me if it's useless, is 2-4-3. It is a high-low mid. Now, I honestly do not believe this move is useless. Because not only is it advancing Raiden, but they think you can actually meaty this string to make... This is a mix-up in of its own. And I'm not saying because it's a high, low, then mid. No, not at all. I'm saying you can meaty the high, and since it's advancing, the low can actually hit their feet, and they won't even see it coming. and it is a launcher. You cannot combo off this full screen, but you can get the Superman off of it. And you cannot get the Storm Cell, sadly. But you can get it in the corner. But this is a good combo ender in the corner, which I'll go over when we get to, you know, the combos for you guys to try, which is to be good homework for you future Raiden mains out there. His lightning, back forward 1. It shoots 1, it is a high, so it is duckable, but if you amplify it, it hits mid. I wouldn't suggest doing this mid-match because it does get, mid-screen or up close. But if you just want to get a good stun on them, that's fine. But they are in recovery. They're not in recovery, so that means they're back to neutral. So, remember these strings, practice them religiously, because in order to be really good with Raiden, you're going to have to practice literally everything that he has. He doesn't have much of a really long set list here when it comes to his strings, but just know that he is not useless. This character is really, really good. So here, let me tell you the gimmicks of this character, because people have been asking me about Raiden and they mainly been going off on this variation. So you have his tech throw, correct? What happens when you see the throw? He teleports. It makes the same sound as his teleport. Now, if you have Spark Port available, which means you can teleport and do this. This is 1 offensive meter when you amplify it. You can actually use this to bait out the tech throw. So they're going to think that you're going to go for the grab. They're going to be ready to duck and try to down 2. But you can actually amplify the teleport. Please don't do this to me. There we go. Sorry, it's weird playing on pad. You guys know that I do not play on pad. So you can actually bait it out and actually get with the forward 3 into the overhead. This can actually fake him out in a lot of ways. See what I mean? This right here, of course, too. If someone's gonna try and keep on, you know, spamming ice balls or spamming fireballs, they want to zone you out. Yes, of course, you can teleport behind them, but they're gonna anticipate that. So that's why you have this. So that means you just got from full screen all the way up to their face without any wave dashing, without any ducking. You just pretty much close the gap without even needing to do anything. That means you skipped over all of their ice balls, all of their fireballs, all of their zoning elements. You just got to time it correctly. In your opinion, what does Raiden need more of? Mids, command grads, etc. Honestly, I think he needs range. Because when you look at things like this, his high, yes, that is punishable. But I'm tired of Raiden's T-Rex arms. So I have to depend on his second parts of his string in order to get something. Now we do have this, and we do have this. He has a lot of good advancing normals, but the only thing that is pretty much helping him is his back 1-2. But honestly, I cannot stand his other moves. I'll show you why. He needs a fix on his moves. He needs at least 1 command grab, at least. They need to change his 2-1 into something a little bit more not useless. What is that, you might ask? Something that is better than just something that is completely punishable. Now, the variations I like to use personally as someone who uses a lot of Raiden, I like to use the Spark Port into the Electric Burst because it gives a push. And it leaves them, you know, open on block, and it's a lot more safer option than using Storm Cell. I know Storm Cell, I can get I can combo off of it, but this right here, they cannot duck. They're gonna get hit by it because that push is a mid. I also like to use this one. I like to get rid of the Spark Port and use the Electric Burst. as well as the Storm Cell and the Electric Charge. This, I'm going to show you guys what the other moves can actually mean. Now, don't ask me to do the MK1 rated voice because I'll leave that for Amperflex, or one of my students, Amperflex, better at that. So, I'm going to show you these moves right here. This is where the fun gimmicks come in. So, when you replace the teleport and you try to put this in, this isn't useless. This is really good. If someone is going to keep spamming fireballs, you can go up here and get him with a mid. So it's, of course, the same input as, you know, the teleport. You click 1 for a down shot. You press 4 to cancel. Now this uses no meter, so that's good. You use 2 to get those jades in the air. I mean, any airborne characters. This has really good range to it. Just as long as what it's touching. Now, here's the fun part. If you're putting on pressure, let's put Sub-Zero to, let's say, crouch blocking. He's trying to crouch block everything you throw at him. If you press 3, it's an overhead. Oh, that's another thing too. Don't depend on doing the this low lightning, because it's gonna go over their head if they're crouching. But another good fun part is where you have this. If you amplify as you teleport upwards, you control the whole fight line with lightning. This even goes behind you or below you, whatever you want to say. Now this is good pressure. Now here's the gimmicks for all you Raiden mains. Bless you. Putting pressure, nothing's working. Bless you. Oh my goodness. There you go. That is probably one of the best pressures I can give you with this move. Because those lightnings, they hit mid. They don't call him Thunder God for nothing, I'm telling you right now. And plus 2, if you do this, you can go back to neutral. But I always like to, you know, because they're gonna think to crouch block, so that's where we can actually use this to our advantage. Because it's the mid, and cancel with the overhead. Now, is it punishable? Yes, it is. It is very punishable. Because I apologize. That was actually Reptile saying he got his tail stuck in the air conditioning again. So Survive Cabans, that you're the custodian. You mind like helping him? And for God's sake, can you like file his scales, please? Because this is the 3rd time this month. Jesus Christ. He hasn't been to class in what? 3 days and he thinks he can what I'm sorry about that. But yeah, just letting you guys know that Raiden has a lot of good tools. Sorry about that. So, as I was saying, this is very punishable. All you have to do is try to jump for the 2 or to anti-air. A lot of people do have, like Cabal, he does have the hook grab, which he can actually catch him with. Or simply down 2. Now, his other move, however, the one I was telling you guys about before, this right here is your best anti-air tool for Raiden to ever have. This can be used in as a combo ender. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So, do something like this. Now, I don't like to always use this up close. And be careful with your miss inputs because that's not going to hit anything. For anybody that likes to do the jumps, like, you know, upgraded Jackie, I know that Joker has that Boeing thing now. Also, too, Cabal now has his gas leap. Oh, and of course, Katana's air flutter, and of course, you know, those really pesky Jades that like to back up and try to do the air things. Now, with Jade, however, if Jade is going to do the air Razor Rings, you're still going to get hit. But this still hits too. That means they're on knockdown while you just got hit. So who has more of an advantage? You do. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of people would say, but what if I'm going against Jade? Well, at least you got the knockdown. So you know that now. This Electric Burst. This right here. It's amazing. You gotta love it. It is a mid. And it has amazing pushback. You are -10 though. But the pushback, however, is pretty good. Because they're gonna think that you're gonna go with an advancing forward 3, or maybe an advancing back 3. But it's a good mix-up tool because they're gonna think you're gonna be doing this. You do the tech throw, and they're gonna let go of block. But bam! You won. His other moves. Quick charge. This is where it gets fun. Oh my god, this is where it gets really fun. Now, you saw what he did there. He does a little dance. Oomph. Oomph. Now, I'm going to set Sub-Zero to down poke. Okay, you see that little burst right there that he did? Do that again. Okay, you see how the lightning is now like intensified. If I were to do back down back 3 again, I do this. Oh, well, what does that do? This is your flawless block get out of jail free card. Do you hear what I'm telling you? I get a reversal punish. Now, what happens if you amplify it though? If you amplify it, it controls the whole fight line. So let's have Sub-Zero do something like there you go. Now, I like to do these things at the end of every, string or at the end of every combo that I do. So if I do something like, or do this, it's already charged up. So I could be ready to be on the defensive. Or if somebody's going to keep throwing ice balls, such as, let's say, actually, who is one character that you guys get zoned out by the most? Please let me know right now. Chat. Who likes to use the most projectiles right now? Would you say Jade, Baraka? Actually, that's actually a good idea. Let's use Jade. So we use Jade in this scenario. This can actually help you against zoners, especially when you have quick charge available and the spark port. Now, I'm gonna make her do this. Do it again. I did it wrong. Do it again. This is a good way to keep people off of you, especially with people like Scarlet who have a teleport, because they're giving you power. They're giving you power to amp this up. And when you amp this up, it's not necessarily a damage buff either, because as you can see, that's 48, 48. So that's not really sorry about what I missed. Is he okay? I swear we need to just chop off his damn tail already. You didn't miss much. Pretty much what we're learning right now is just the ins and outs of Raiden. Pretty much how to use him, what he can use against zoners, against people who constantly rush down at him. I told him the quick charge. I told class that the quick charge is a good flawless block, get out of jail free card, because somebody is constantly going to give you like a barrage of moves and constant pressure, like this. Oops. Because even if she blocks after that, how about we make her block after that? See how the space was created there? This has a lot of good pushback here. Actually, let's put on the frames so we can see. Huh? -4. But you see how far she is? And it's a stun if you catch it in mid-combo. Whoops. But you can also use it without Amplify. Now you just took your turn back. You see what I mean? It's a Flawless block, get out of jail free card is what I'm telling you. You need to practice this. This is what labbing is. If you're constantly being barraged by this thing with Jade, with her kicks over and over again, where you're like, damn, I can't flawless block that well. Learn how to do it in between. Down back X, or down back 3, down back 3, down back 3. Now, I'm gonna show you his useless moves. These are the moves you should avoid. Honest. I cannot make this up of how bad these moves are. I honestly can't. So let's go to default. Let's change all of his moves to what I think is useless. Oh. Let's use Super Bolt. And oh yeah. I'll show you the Super Bolt later. The Lightning Rod and Joe Push. I'm gonna show you how these moves should be avoided and why you should not even ever be using them. So for any new players to MK11 that wants to pick up Raiden, do not go for his third variation. Oh, why is it not in there? Okay. There we go.
Sub-Zero. Charon ship.
Now, I know NetherRealm Studios, I know they meant well by trying to make this move, but they could have given him a little bit more things with him, because I kind of wanted... I'm going to say this with a straight face, and I think everybody can agree. Mortal Kombat X Raiden, his playstyle, was a lot better than this Raiden. I'm just going to put that out there, because of stuff like this. This is completely useless. I'll show you why. This is a 20 frame startup. And what if you're blocking? Maybe it's good on block. No, it isn't. It isn't good on block. Sorry. I'm minus 23 on block. Even if I amplify, it whips. They're blocking. Now you can hold it to try to like get in between, but this is just even if it does hit, okay? Even if it does hit, all right? I know what you guys are saying. I can't catch them to save my life. The only thing I could do is another force push. Here's another thing that's useless. His rod. If I place this behind them, it doesn't do anything, actually. Oh, you gotta hold it, okay. You guys saw that? That means if I'm full screen, I'm sorry, class. Oh my god. Who made this? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I needed to let that laugh out, because that is ridiculous. Look at this. It doesn't touch him. But this does. But if I amplify it, it still doesn't matter. It's just... It makes no difference. No difference whatsoever. I can't teleport. I don't get it. And that Joe push, this is, you can't do it anymore because your staff is out there. So I'm just doing random threes. And people like to say, "Oh, it's a good setup. It's a good setup." No, it isn't. Because what am I supposed to do here? It doesn't do anything. I can't teleport behind. I can't teleport to the staff. I don't see what the point was for this move. I really don't. Now you can recall it. But that's 36 frames on startup. So pretty much I'm free. This Raiden is free. He can be beaten easily if anyone uses this variation. Trust me, we tried. We tried this. Nothing works. Nothing works. But I'm gonna show you the other useless move. Now, I wouldn't say one of these moves is useless, but for me personally, it just doesn't work out for me. So if I take off the Joe push, if I use electric current, and let's say I use super bolt with quick charge. Quick charge is kind of needed for electric current for the staff move. So I'm gonna show you as to why. So this Raiden, however, it's very weird because I could have, a lot of us Raiden fans could have told, you know, NetherRealm Studios better moves for Raiden, but it's kind of tough when considering the fact that Raiden wasn't made to be how he was in MKX. He was a very nice rushdown character. I mean, the whole game was rushdown. So you have the Super Bowl. It is a mid. It has the same properties as the Electric Fly. You can cancel it. But the thing is, you can't really combo off of this thing. That's the only thing you can do. Unless you're in the corner. And if you amplify... That's a grab. But if they block it, however... They block it. That's minus 17. And he can't amplify it in the air. You can't amplify it on hit to catch him with that other mid. And it's negative 17 on block. Please do not use... I tried with the Storm Cell. I can't... The damage output is not even close to what I would use without it. Now let's go into his electric current. Now if I'm full screen, right? Let's put him at full screen real quick. It doesn't reach. Doesn't do anything. But with the electric charge, however, it's a low projectile. They have to hop over it. Now, if I were to use... Amplified up close. Yeah, it does a little hop. But if I had the quick charge on, it's a pop-up. Now this is I don't really like to use this because my combo still doesn't come out right. And it's really hard to convert off of. Especially when you're doing something like this close. But at the same time, it's not a bad move. It's not completely useless, but I wouldn't suggest using it all the time. There you go. See, now this just proves that this is, to me, is useless. But, however, when it comes down to it, this right here, it's a 21 frame startup. And on block, it's still pretty bad. Go. You see what I mean? It's minus 23 on block. So I wouldn't suggest using this too much. And if you do want to use it, make sure you have this equipped, the quick charge. So those are the useless moves of Raiden. How to beat Raiden? It's simple one thing. You disrespect his frames. Disrespect his frames to the point where he cannot do his mix-ups. It's either that or you zone him out. But make sure that he doesn't have the spark port if you want to try to zone him out. Because the fact is, he doesn't really have a lot of counter zoning tools. He mainly just has the teleport, which people can actually anticipate pretty well. And he's pretty slow with them. Now, as his footsie range, like using his staff, remember, the first one is a high. And it mostly whiffs. Unless he goes to the low then mid. How do you counter the throw? That's a very good question. So, you're getting hit by this, right? To counter the throw, you gotta anticipate if he has the spark port or not. If he does not have the spark port, you easily just duck. So I'm gonna set to... Actually, I think it'd be better if I just have Raiden versus Raiden. But that's mainly how you beat it. You can... When they want to do the tech throw all the time, or they're doing back 1-2, back 1-2, and then into the tech throw, it's easy to get mixed up if they have the storm cell on or the teleport on, but you can still catch them if you're fast enough. So let's do Raiden and Raiden. A lot of the times, if you can anticipate it, like if they're gonna do the tech throw, actually I'm gonna have Raiden do the tech throw. Wrong one. Now, it is hard because of the fact that, like, this is both mid. But depending on like, how far you're placed away from him, people like to think that it's a mid-mid. But it's actually a mid-high. Wait, hold on. You can duck highs, correctly, chat? Why am I getting hit by it? Mainly you just duck it, because this is indeed a... I thought it reset you. So mid-high, you can duck the second hit. But remember, he does have back 1-4. But you can duck the high, and you can duck the tech throw. Because, of course, you can duck throws. What for people that are losing against, you know, Raiden a lot, what is the one thing Raiden does that you cannot absolutely stand? I'm curious to know. What is the one thing you cannot stand with Raiden? I know a lot of people are getting tired of his teleport. And if I tell you how to tech this, you guys, I think I'm gonna get canceled by 3 o'clock. But if nobody has any questions, that is Raiden. Again, how do you counter Raiden? The best counter picks for Raiden, I will show you right here. So if I name your main out, be a little happy. And if you still lose against Raiden, don't feel too bad. Just hit the lap. Because I showed you everything that he does. What is a high, what is a mid, what is a low. Raiden can be beaten by Scorpion, Joker, Sub-Zero, and Jade. Superman? No. Like in real life? I'm confused. But Scorpion does have one of the fastest teleports in Poke game in the game. He also has a projectile that can catch Raiden out of, you know, his teleport. Plus, his frames are a lot more faster. Joker, he has a lot of good zoning tools, especially with his jacket, his low jacket of box. Sonya can possibly beat him, but you just got to put a little bit more effort into using her and try not to zone out Raiden with her onion rings, because she has like a lot of recovery frames by shooting her onion rings, which she could just teleport and mess you up. Noob, he can control the pocket, keep Raiden out, and not do any of the what's it called, a lot of it Raiden's gimmicks with his down 4. And he can actually, you know, abuse the neutral with, you know, his shadow clone, like his slide and stuff. Sub-Zero, he can actually push through a lot of Raiden's mix-ups because he is the mix-up king. Jade is kind of like 50-50 with Raiden, because he needs to get in order to get, you know, really good damage on him. And Jade is a runaway zoner, or can be used as a runaway zoner. And she controls, you know, the neutral with her stick, which can keep Raiden out of the pocket. So that's one thing that everyone else, like Shiva, RoboCop, it is pretty much a 50-50 stance with Raiden. Because the thing is that they have tools that could beat Raiden, and Raiden has tools that could beat all the rest of the characters. But the main thing is, it all depends on you. It depends on how you're using Raiden, or how your opponent is using Raiden. Make sure the next time you fight against a Raiden, you're like, oh shit, another Raiden? Instead of complaining about it, look what he's using. Look what your opponent is using. On the right side of the screen is going to show what moves they selected, or what moves they put into the customization. If you see anything that, or he's got the teleport. Okay, I need to be ready to let go of block and duck. Oh, he doesn't have the teleport. Okay, zone him out. Even if he has the Superman flight, always anticipate it. Even I encourage you, for the Superman, I mean the Raiden mains, do not use the Superman willy-nilly. Don't use it all the time. Don't just throw it out there just because, oh yeah, I can actually get him. No, it more often than not, it's not gonna work. If you're a Raiden main, abuse his projectiles, abuse his lightning. You can never know how much it can open up somebody. Just don't do it up close, because the frames are horrible. So remember your 4-3-2s. Remember your back 2 tech grabs, your back 2 mix up, or your back 1-4. Another gimmick I like to show people before I go, that I like, that for people that played me and I use Raiden, or actually Raiden actually helped me get 35th in NA West actually. So a lot of things I like to do is on knockdown, I like to do a short hop and back 2. So back 2 is the chop chop. Now this has really bad frames, however. It's a 19 frame startup, and if it's blocked, it's even worse. Yeah. So what I like to do is that when people like to short hop, some people that when they wake up, they like to down poke. Like down poke, or say they get off me by doing down 4, do the short hop into a grab. But you can do this with almost every character on the roster. But what I like to do is to do a short hop and chop chop, because they're gonna think I'm gonna do this, because a lot of people like to do that. But if I just do this, it catches them every time. Now, you can just do down 3 into chop chop, but you're not always going to hit them. I like to do a teleport into chop chop. Another gimmick I like to use is my pokes and dash out. So I'm on wave dashing, bam. I like to back up. Because the reason why I like to down poke and check them and then back up is because of back 1-2. Because it keeps the distance away. And back 1 is probably one of his best punishes ever. So remember those gimmicks. And also utilize this, his short hops, because they're very underrated. Now, if you're really fast with your fingers, like if you're at this speed, you don't actually have to amplify. Now, his defense, however, is really good. If you're really good with his defense, you're going to be really good with his offense because he can punish really well. Of course, with his quick charge, and also too, a lot of his moves are really good in advancing. I remember his stagger too. This is a stagger. It's a mid. It's kind of like Scorpion's forward 3. No, this doesn't have a crushing blow. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's all we have about Raiden. Again, is there any questions that any of you might actually have about Raiden or how to fight Raiden? If there isn't, then that's it. That's all you need to know about Raiden. And I know like there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that say, oh, learn Raiden in 10 minutes. I just wanted to go in depth and actually lab him and actually show you guys what there is to lab. And I hope you guys learned something from this. No homework for you guys today, except for the Raiden players. Practice your mix-ups. Practice those mix-ups. Honestly. Practice them against every character in the roster if you can. See what counters it, what doesn't counter it, and see what you're losing most against when you use Raiden. Like, if you go in Combat League with Raiden and you lost to a Baraka, what was that Baraka doing to you the most? It's in the game. You can replay your matches. There's nothing wrong with it. Any of the gimmicks the other characters were doing that were you know, beating Raiden, your Raiden, practice that. See what can counter that. But I'm telling you right now, everything that I've shown you is the best tools Raiden has and how they should be used. But with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next episode. The next episode, I do have a character plan. I'm not going to reveal yet. But if there's any character that you guys would like for me to go over, please DM me, tweet to me, send me some clips of what's getting you annoyed the most, of how I can help you lab against or with that character that you want to know how to learn. But yes, tweet me. If you're in Fight Club, message me, DM me, anything, because I want to go over every single character in this roster. So again, if there's any character out there that you want to learn or learn how to beat, tweet it to me. But with that being said, I thank you guys so much. Please check out Fight Club. Please check out our Twitter handles, and I will see you guys on the next episode.
double heist with down 2. Great call out there by Sonic. To the corner we go, and Fatal Blow is available. Had the mic go down.
Could have been it. Could have been it.
No! And Sonic Fox becomes your Final Combat Mortal Kombat 11 champion.
We believe gamers from home deserve an open platform as big as those on the road. With more events moving online, a better system is needed to give casual and professional players a place to showcase their talent. The communities of Mortal Kombat Online and the Mortal Kombat subreddit are joining together to create a better way for players to compete online. Introducing Fight Club, a revolutionary new way for gamers to challenge one another in Mortal Kombat 11, with automatic analysis of all matches streamed via Twitch on your PlayStation or Xbox. With the Mortal Kombat Online mobile app, send challenges directly to any player of your choosing with complete crossplay and cross-generation support. Compete in ranked sets with the ability to earn placement on our global leaderboards. Mortal Kombat subreddit members receive exclusive integration with special flair and season support to determine who is the best combatant. Fight Club puts the character tier list debate to rest, providing real-time updates. See which character will provide you the best option of defeating your opponents. Fights analyzed in minutes, providing players with their own tailored profile. Matches are streamed live 24 hours a day on MortalKombatOnline.com and on Fight Club TV. Verified streamer support available for well-known content creators on Twitch. Find matches on Discord quickly with a dedicated challenge pool and other matchmaking options. The Fight Club public beta at fightclub.gg. Register today. It's in a league of its own.